It's a great house in the middle of the road. That's what they are. There's no special sauce to this. It really is just what it is. You know, they're houses. Somebody built them. Somebody lived in them. Somebody got a mortgage. Somebody didn't pay their bill. The bank took them back, and now we bought them in a bulk sale. There's nothing special about those. They're just houses.
So it's kind of like sticking your hand in the jelly bean jar and pulling out a bunch of jelly beans, and who knows what you can get.
That's right. A lot like that. Somewhat like that. I thought I was going to get past it. I'm not going to get past it. You made me lose money, so we had a bet going. Okay, here's what it is. It's like a pig in a poke. You know what a pig in a poke is? It's like a pig in a poke. So I say that, but it's really what it is. It's kind of like a grab bag at the dollar store. It's got a big old bag. It only costs $1. It's got to be something worth having in there. Pig in a poke, same thing. You don't really know what you're getting before, but you know you feel like you've negotiated a pretty decent deal. We get a couple hours to look at some values and do some things of what it used to be. We don't know the condition yet, because we don't know what it is, and we don't know the condition of the title yet. We don't know those things, but we know we've been doing it enough and got lots of houses to pull from. We know our averages. Our chances are really good. You know what? Because you make your money when you buy. And if you buy low enough, you're going to have enough room to filter out any potential mistakes that you might have. Lots and lots of options. That's the key. All right. So once we got it, now we want to determine value. Everybody else wants to determine the value beforehand, right? Before you ever bought a house, if you're in real estate, you better know your value, what you can sell it for, what you're going to put in it, what your cost of rehab is going to be, what your market is, how much your market's going to pay. And you know what the thing that stinks about that, and this right now our environment proves it, is because you got to get all of that right. And if you don't get it right, it'll wipe you out. And you know what? There's millions of people that have gotten it wrong. And they're going to keep getting it wrong. Because it's not fixed yet. So when you buy near the top, or you get in that game where you have to get it right every time, which is traditional real estate, then you're probably going to lose that game sometime or another. It's going to cycle around, and you might, if you stay long enough, you might win, but you're going to run through that cycle if you do this long enough. But you know, if you buy it right every time, and you buy it at the bottom, and you get it really cheap, you've got a lot more opportunity to make a lot more money. So people look at different things to account for value. They might look at the last purchase price or the last mortgage amount. You might get an appraiser to do an appraisal on the property, which all of this stuff right now, they might look at housing bubbles or economic bubbles that have burst and say, well, you don't want to stay away from this area because of this, you want to stay away from this area because of that. And they might say, oh, well, but the MLS, we got to go get a realtor to tell us what that really is worth, and they're going to do comps in the area and get all this stuff, and everybody's going to put up their magic calculators and tell you what it's worth, right? Well, that's the silliest bunch of mumbo-jumbo I've ever heard, just to be honest with you. It's silly. If it's appraisers, it's silly. If it's mortgage brokers or real estate brokers, it's silly. You guys don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. But they're going to try to figure out based off what somebody did last week or the month before. There's just so many variables, and especially right now, nobody knows. But there's one sure way you can always know. There's one sure way you can always know what something's worth. What is that? If I ask you, what is something always worth? What's it really worth? What someone will pay you for it. What someone will pay you for it. So if someone will pay you for something, then you're guaranteed that's exactly what that's worth, right? So it's a different model. It's a different way of looking at it. At Pinnacle, we're going to value things by what people will pay us for those things. We're not going to try to figure it out beforehand. We're going to figure it out after we have it. We've got lots of options. We bought at the bottom. We know we have a lot of opportunity. Now let's figure out how much these people will pay us for these products that we have to sell them. Okay, ready? All right. There's two ways that we sell houses. We sell them to investors, much like yourself, and then we'll sell them to end users. For right now, we're going to talk about the end users. People that are actually going to live in the properties. These people that are going to move into these properties will buy them a couple of different ways from us. Number one is cash. They'll call and make you a cash offer on the house. The second way, which is our favorite way, it's our most profitable way, we think it positions you to be the bank, is a rent-to-own contract. We've got a rent-to-own contract that we've done. It takes a lot of different things, kind of like an installment sale. kind of like a contract for deed, kind of like a lease with an option to purchase, kind of like all those different things. But it's really none of those things. It's not even, it's just a rent-to-own contract. We've specifically written ours, very detailed, with a lot of legal help and a lot of accounting help to help us comply with every law and every rule. But yet it's very specific about what it does. It is a rent-to-own contract on a property. And that helps us, and you, if you're the investor, to position yourself to be most like the banks we talked about a little bit ago that make this stuff out of thin air, be able to write your own paper and to get people to send you checks every month and pay those mortgages, basically. This helps you to do that. So rent-to-own contract. When those folks pull up to those houses and they see a sign, they walked around the house and looked in the windows, they call the number on the sign. Remember, they are in North Carolina. What do you think the first question they ask is? The people that are at the houses, they see the house, they look in the windows, they call our number on the sign, and what's the first thing they say? How much is it? What's it cost? How much is it? They want to know how much is it, right? They're looking at a house, they want to know how much it is. Now, if only we knew, that'd be good, wouldn't it? But we don't know. Because traditional real estate will tell you all that stuff we talked about a minute ago. You know, appraisals and MLS and brokers and last purchase prices and things like that, and comps. We're not going to figure all those things because we discount all of those things as irrelevant. Here's what we go about. What someone will pay us for. So we need to figure out by the person on the other end of the phone, how much are they willing to pay us, and then we'll know exactly how much that thing is worth that we own. Does that make sense? We have to figure that out. So we're going to ask them a couple of questions to get to the bottom of what is that house really worth, what can they really pay us for it. So we're going to ask them if they currently rent or own. Most people that are calling us say rent. Then we say, well, if you currently rent, how much do you pay each month? Most people say, how much? $1,000, $700, what else?
It depends on where they are.
Well, give me one. 800, okay, 700, 800, 1,000. Okay, yeah, you guys are right. Now we say, if you're currently paying $700, $800, $1,000, if we can get you in this house for that same amount of money, but you can own that property, would you be interested? You think they say what? Yes. And then we say, how much money can you put down today on that property? They might say $1,000. We say, okay, if you can give us $1,000 down on that property, and you can pay $700,000, $800,000 a month, then we can get you in that house. Would you do that? Most people say, sure, right? They called us, remember. They're sitting at the house, they saw the sign, they called us. Okay? So we're going to figure that out through the process of what we can actually do. Now, these are the things that you get as investors. We're back in the investor mode. Sitting in this room tonight, and all of our people are investors. Remember, we buy every house. We own every house. We're the biggest investor. This is our company. That's what we do. We buy houses and convert them to end users. We've also got a window open for investors to become involved in that process, and that's what you guys are here tonight to do, is to buy into the process and then allow us to walk it through to the end, just like we do our own stuff. So every house we got, remember, is $25,900, whichever one it is. Here's all the stuff that comes with it. You're going to get the house and the land or lot that it's on. You're going to get the land trust that's already established, and the house is in that land trust. So you're going to become the beneficial interest holder of that land trust if you buy a house for $25,900. You're also going to pay, we're going to pay all the recording and transfer fees to get that property into that land trust, take care of all that. Basically, closing costs. If you go to a title company and get all these closing costs done, that can run $2,000 or $3,000 or more. All that's included in this $25,900 for that property. Then we're going to do a really cool thing is where a lot of your liability lies, is pay all the past due taxes, liens, levies, judgments, and utilities. All that past due stuff that's due on each of these properties, if there is anything, and most of them do have something. Some of them have a lot, some have a little, but we can win that game by volume. We're going to escrow some of these funds, and we're going to pay all those past due taxes, liens, levies, judgments, and utilities on each of those properties that you buy. Then we're going to do that home inspection. Remember, we talked about that. We're going to do a home inspection. We're going to visit each property. We're going to place a security, a lockbox on it, secure the property with a lockbox. We're going to put a for sale sign on it. We're going to do that 21-point home inspection, take interior and exterior photos, and do all of those things and place all of that information on our website at myplace.us. So we have a website called